Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. I have a very special guest, one that needs no introduction, but is back again. Glenn, welcome back to the channel, bro.
Awesome. And when you said special guest, I thought you got Stan Kroenke in your interview. I was like, okay, this is just
You know,
imagine that.
you know
Yeah,
what? I should have KROENKE on. I should have
yeah,
KROENKE on because we
just
just need him
imagine.
to answer so many questions. But just to
If
fit you
you'd
in,
hack
everybody.
that, yeah, go ahead. If you'd
Just
hack
to
that,
fit
you'd have like 100 million people watching right now.
Yeah, I know. So just to feed you in, we're going to talk about the massive money Arsenal are going to get in that in the Super League. We're also going to talk about the Super League, what it means for us as fans, and Arsenal will get your opinions as well. I want to know what you think about this in the comment box below. It looks like KROENKE is becoming richer and richer, and Arsenal is going to become, the milk cow, the money cow that is going to actually milk day in, day out. We are also going to speak about the European Super League to the big, to the bigger picture, what it means. Some of us are not in the UK, but we're going to talk about what it means for fans within the UK, and outside of the UK. So a lot to talk about. But Glenn, let's first talk about Arsenal and European Super League, because most people don't understand how Arsenal gets affected, or how Arsenal is involved in the European Super League, and that's the first thing I want you to to tackle as a person. When we got to the European Super League, apparently Schalke is joining. I've seen that on Twitter. So it's a league that I even don't understand. But if we go to this European Super League, we are going to get some money. Probably, I've seen 400 million. Like welcome money. How do you feel about this? How do you picture the way Arsenal will be affected as fans, especially because we don't understand the money model, KROENKE and whoever. But how are you as a fan going to be affected by Arsenal now playing these big clubs on a daily basis and then kicked out of the Premier League?
No, I'm just surprised. First of all, you said that Schalke are going to join. Schalke are getting relegated from Bundesliga, so this thing
I
has
don't
no plan
understand.
at all. This thing has no plan at all. So I'm just wondering with Arsenal. I've been trying to not judge it like 100% and just say no without understanding it that well. So I'm trying to feel like I'm trying to see look at the positives and the negatives for every single team involved. So what could be the positives? Yes, they could get money for infrastructure. Some of the teams could build more new stadiums. You can get money for players. They've been telling us we can get more money for players and all that. That could be a positive. Yes, but the negatives just outweigh the positives. Like you're breaking away from a league that has been going on for years, hundreds of years, the Champions League, the FA Cups, the leagues. The backlash you're getting from fans. You're trying to Americanize the sport, and that's the thing. That is what is annoying most people. Let's say the owners are just English people, and they're just trying to create a new tournament. Let's have a fifth, sixth tournament. Let's have Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, UEFA Champions League, and also the Super League. Then we might understand. Let's say like this is another competition, and it has a chance for everyone to compete, as you said earlier. If they're giving every single team a chance to compete, then that's fine. You look at the teams that are there. AC Milan. When was the last time AC Milan were in the Champions League? Years ago. When was the
Yeah,
last time
yes,
Arsenal were in the Champions League? 4 years
yes.
ago. When was the last time, like,
Tottenham,
go ahead,
Tottenham Hotspur,
Tottenham? Yeah.
80. I think, is it 1981? Most of these, many clubs are struggling, and it's just not justifiable in any footballing sense that they're in this competition. Basing on the fact that it's going to be one of the best footballing competitions. It's not that just justifiable.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. And the fact that they're actually, the organizers are the ones who are actually running the company, the likes of Joel Glazer and stuff, and Perez from Real Madrid, that actually shocks you. Because would you trust this competition to go on for another 4 or 5 years? I wouldn't. Would it be locked down after 2 years and then all of a sudden all the teams that need to start all over again? That would be another bad thing. So for me, I don't understand how the teams have been chosen. I don't understand how Arsenal have been. They're not just being the UEFA Champions League. When was the last time these teams won their league titles? Arsenal like 17 years ago, Tottenham like 50 years ago, something. Inter Milan 11 years ago, AC Milan 10 years ago, all these teams are not even being good in their team. So that just shows you it's a money thing. If it was nothing about, if it was not just about the money, it was just another competitive league, then people would support it. But just because it's money, and it doesn't benefit any of us, it just benefits the owners. If it was benefiting everyone, the rest of the teams in the leagues, everyone was getting a portion of this money that is coming up, the fans will benefit from this leagues and stuff, then people would understand. But the fact that it's just adding to their pockets, no one wants anything about that.
Yeah, and I've been singing. I've been saying Jurgen Klopp. He's been saying that these things, many managers, them as managers, were not consulted, not even, leave alone this fact that they are not consulted. They were not briefed about it. Liverpool as a club, the players and everyone, they got to know it about it today. And they, imagine it is, it is match day, and it is, bumped onto them that we have actually, signed up into the Super League. Why do you think they have hidden this so much? To the extent that they just announced it to the footballing world, announced it to their own players and their coaches? Probably.
Why? Why? Because they know the backlash that they're going to get. They know they're probably doing the wrong thing. They're trying to Americanize the sport. I've told you that before. Like the teams that are in that competition and how they're still going to run it. In the NBA in USA, they have 15 leagues per conference. Those are 30 teams. There's no relegation. The top 8 teams qualify for the playoffs. The rest of them, even however terrible you've been, it doesn't matter. You have another chance next season. You won't be relegated. You'll have money to buy more players next season. You can trade players. They call it trading. So how long before they change the names of these things? No transfer windows. It's trading windows. No, Arsenal will be called London Reds, like the way we see in PES and all that. How long before they change the stadiums? Arsenal against Chelsea will be played in Miami, in USA, and all that. That's what they're trying to do. I cannot go to, let's say, USA right now and say that the American football now, how many teams do you have here? 30. No, we're going to have 40 teams. We're going to be playing 10 games instead of 20. You cannot just go to a country and literally change everything. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it like American sports. And where is the honor of Liverpool from? USA. Where is the honor of Arsenal from? USA. Where is the honor of United from? USA. So they're trying to Americanize the sport. Yeah.
And actually, just to show that everything is not right, that JP Morgan Bank is very responsible in the Glazers buying Manchester United, because they literally had no money and they bought it, with what credit or loan, I don't care about United at this moment in time, but you can see how much money it is pumped. Around 4.5 billion, it's going to be given to these clubs for restructuring, and that's why I won't be surprised if clubs like Schalke 04 are going to be brought on the table, because they need this money. I've been watching Sky today, and it has been confirmed that one of the reporters was speaking to a board member of a club who's which I member, and these owners, these rich men, have already said that they know it's going to backlash. They know there's going to be a lot of competition. I'm sorry, not competition, but resistance from the football world, and they do not care. They have already prepared their lawyers. They have already prepared everything to fight so that this league stands. They have already said that the motive is to make revenues for these clubs, and all other footballing motivations and motives come secondary. So it's purely out of football, and we need to kick it out of football. But let's just first narrow down to a national perspective. 400 million comes in. Do you think we are going to benefit from it? Do you think we would benefit from it?
Now, let me tell you something fast. If you're telling me Arsenal is about to join a project and you're going to make more money from it, you might build a new stadium, we might have a new training ground, you might buy players, I wouldn't say no. Like, which kind of project is it? It's a good project. You're going to make Arsenal a bigger club again. There's no one who would say no. Obviously, we know the money runs the leagues these days. That's why man's still winning titles. It's money. You have to buy players. You need the money to buy players. So if it was a good project and everyone understands it and we agree to go for it, that's okay. You can get as much money as you want, as long as it's being used for the right reasons, that's fine. But this money is not used for the right reasons. Exactly. That amount of money you say that is going to Kroenke's pocket, it's going to build another stadium in United States of America. That's where it's going. It's going to build another stadium for Denver Nuggets, who he owns, and the NFL team that he owns, it's not being used for the right reasons. They're trying to get more money from the football clubs in England to take it to the American football and to the NBA. That is literally stealing. They're now creating a battle between USA and England. That is what they're doing. And I'm very surprised that these teams agreed to it. I don't know how many people agreed to it, but yeah, we'll come to that. For Arsenal, I don't know. As I said earlier on, I was trying to look at the benefits and the negatives that can come from this. Obviously, we can build stadiums and all that infrastructure. It can help, but the negatives are too many, man. We are not even good enough to be in that competition. Even if we had qualified for it, we are not good enough to be in that competition. What's the benefit for us to go and lose 6-0 every single week? That will kill our confidence even more because we're not doing good in the Premier League. I don't want to face Real Madrid every week. I don't want to face Barcelona every week. We are very lucky we never ever got to face Real Madrid when Ronaldo was there. We are very lucky. Otherwise, I would not want to face these teams every single week. And now we are talking about facing them every single midweek. How does that benefit you, losing 6-0 to all these teams every single week? I don't get it other than money. Money that we are not getting, money that is not helping the club, money that is not going to help the players, money that is going to help Stan Kroenke, Josh Kroenke, and Joel Glaze, and all those players. So for me, benefits, I don't see any.
Yeah, exactly. And there is also a possibility, before we even go further, that, you know, these people were saying they don't want more matches, they don't want more football games, for their clubs. What they are looking at is that they are inside there. They're delighted that UEFA and all these domestic leagues are going to push these clubs out. Can you imagine? First and foremost, and this is according to Sky. I'm not picking words around Twitter. This is according to Sky, and they're also saying that if they are banned from Premier League and UEFA, Champions League, and Europa, they will not appeal because they do not want their clubs to play more football. However, if they stay in domestic leagues, they will advise their teams, their clubs, to use secondary teams. You understand? For example, Arsenal is saying Real Madrid. You use the Aubameyangs, the Lacazettes, and Pepe, and then over the weekend, what happens over the weekend is you use them. The Edin Ketias, the Balagans, and so on. That is what they're saying. The league, and you understand, because that literally shows you that the league no longer makes sense. It's no longer a platform for qualification for European football. It's just a platform where you're just going to be engaged, just engaging so that domestic football doesn't die out. And that is what has really disgusted me. I thought it was in a motive where they wanted to kick out Champions League, but it's just a motive where they want to reach a point when they own everything at the club. They can take these clubs for a week away. They can take these clubs for 1 month away to America, to Qatar. Move, try to mechanize, and I'm just going to call it mechanization of football, because it's just so ridiculous. Just to answer Frank, who said that he doesn't understand this thing of the Super League. Probably you didn't watch one of my videos when I was trying to explain it and how Arsenal joined. It is a league that is going to be made up of 20 clubs. Apparently, if we get to the number, 20 clubs making a league, a midweek league so far. That is what has been confirmed, that it's going to be a midweek league where you have 20 clubs. 15 clubs will not be able to to get relegated. 15 won't be able to get relegated. So that is it. It's a league that's kind of replacing the Champions League. It doesn't want to replace domestic football, but UEFA and all other footballing associations have actually come out and said, you do this, it's going to be the end of you for domestic football. And that is where we need to start. Liverpool are playing Leeds today. I've seen the players getting out and trying to train. They're putting on shirts having a UEFA logo and then the word "on" it. So that means it's a strong message against the European Super League. It's a collective message. It's one collective message from UEFA trying to tell this, please stop this and earn it, because literally there is no earning it in these ones. However, Glenn, the idea, and I've heard this from Robbie, he was streaming, and he said that the idea was this club, and I think Lawrence McKenna also said it. If you watch the kickoff, anyone who watches the kickoff, McKenna said this around 3 months ago. and that's so brilliant of him. But these big clubs had asked UEFA to get an automatic qualification into the Champions League. That is what they wanted. That United, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool, or probably City, they wanted an automatic qualification so that whether they have finished top 4 or top 7, they qualify. Anyone, you can check Lawrence McKenna's Twitter. That video is there. You can also check the Don Robbie channel. I think he has just finished that stream. Takish Wason and the other people. Glenn, do you think that is fair? Do you think maybe UEFA could agree to that and let these clubs go automatically to the Champions League every single season, rather than letting the European Super League? Or do you think football needs to stay the way it has been structured?
That is just crazy. I'm an Arsenal fan. I want Arsenal to play in the Champions League, but I want us to do it the correct way. I want us to fight. I want us to score goals. I want us to defend well. I want the manager to come up with good tactics. I want the players to fight on the pitch and qualify for the Champions League. We can't be. So what happens to the other teams, the likes of West Ham and Leicester, that have done very well in the league this season? What happens to Lille, who've done well in France? What happens to Real Sociedad, Sevilla, who've done well in Spain? What happens to them? Do they just have to qualify themselves and for us qualify like just through the back door? I don't get it at all. That just sounds crazy. And those are rules that are being brought up by people who don't even understand football. Those are people, I'm sure, even if you ask KROENKE and Glazers, like how many teams were in the league in 1995, they wouldn't tell you. If you ask them to tell you the top 3 in the championship right now, they wouldn't tell you. If you ask them which position Adebayo used to play for Arsenal, they probably wouldn't tell you, because they don't care about the game. They don't care about the structure. They care about the money it can bring. So that just sounds crazy to me. It sounds very, very selfish. And I really would want to know who actually comes up with these rules. Is it the owner? Is it 2-3 people in the board? Who actually says that stuff, that we should be qualifying for the Champions League automatically? I would really want to know who actually comes up with this stuff, because it clearly shows the selfishness involved in that is crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I want us also to talk about the solution to this, because I've seen so many people streaming and doing videos about it, but we are raging. I think the initial stage has been raging about it. We have given our rages, but what could be the solution? I've seen, Gary Neville saying that fans, pundits, managers, footballers should come together. Probably footballers failed, refused to play. Managers refusing to, coach these teams. Fans coming together, probably protesting. Is that one way to go? UEFA has had its own, alternative as well, banning these clubs from European competitions and the Euros, and FIFA is also saying they won't be playing in World Cup. That's another, that is another. What would be the best solution to this? Because it looks like it has come in, and I like Takish because he's a real guy who speaks real things. He said, this has come. We are not fighting to take it back, because it might be very hard. But are we looking at living with, or do you still have hope that it might go away? And of course, if it's going to go away, how do you kick it out?
It's 50. It's not like everyone is not supporting it. Remember, there's like another 30% who are okay with it. So that's the other problem. The other people who actually like it. I can see a comment there saying, I think the Super League is the best thing.
Actually, yeah. It's not 30%, because I think apart from fans around the UK, because most of the channels I've seen are fans around the UK, you'll find that most of the other fans that are spread around the world it's going to be easy to sell the Super League to them, because they're gonna tell them you're Arsenal fans and you've taken long without seeing your club playing on Europe, especially in a big league. We are going to give you that. We are going to bring these matches closer to you. For example, in Qatar, in China, it's easy to sell it to them. So probably there is a very big fan base out there that do not understand how detrimental this is, and they feel it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, I really don't know how we can stop it. I'm actually like almost 7 out of 10 afraid that we can't do anything about it. These guys have all the money. These guys own the clubs. None of us own Arsenal. They're actually the ones who own Arsenal. And that is the thing we need to do going forward. If by any chance they find a way to stop it, because I don't think it can be stopped, because as I said, yes, we can say, let's not watch the games, let's not buy the merchandise. But if they take the games to China, then like around 500, 600,000 people would want to go to the stadium to watch. If they take the game somewhere to South Africa, there's another 700,000 people who would want to watch. If they take the game to Australia, there'll be people crowding who want to watch. So we can literally, not everyone can say no and say we won't go and watch the game. Some people will eventually, so it won't really hurt their pockets. They'll still get the ticket money, the shirt will still be sold out and all that. So if something happens very well and it doesn't go ahead, we now have to take a look at how, I don't know if there's a way to take these owners away, or at least have them owning at least 40% and not 100. That has to be done. We have to stop giving these people like KROENKE 100% of the club. We need to stop giving the Glazers like one family owning a team, because they can do anything they want with it. We saw a couple of years ago Cardiff changed their kit from blue to red, and the fans did not like it. That's what they did. Newcastle changed their stadium name from St. James's Park, I think, to Sports Direct or something, because it's their club. They can do anything they want. So for me, we have to find a way to remove these guys from owning 100% of the club if something happens. But as of now, I just think we just need to protest online and protest in the stadiums as we can. And they're actually very clever. They did it as well in a time where the players and fans are not going to the stadium. They know there won't be the booing and the signs and all that. They're very clever. So for me, I hope that if something happens, we need to take these guys stop these guys from owning 100% of the teams.
Okay. This is one of the radical means for UEFA trying to kick it out. And HSA is breaking Arsenal could be kicked out of the Europa League this season by Friday after the Super League plans. Of course, this is not actually breaking, thank you so much, Glenn. HJ, thank you so much. Let's talk about this, Glenn. For UEFA Champions League teams involved, by Friday, they could be kicked out. For those involved in the Europa League, by Friday, they could be kicked out. Do you think these clubs should be allowed to finish off their seasons in these different competitions, or it is you either stay or you leave starting now? What do you think? Do you think it's too harsh on them? Because Klopp has been saying that it is not the players, it's not the manager, it's not the team, it is some big mechanism, obviously referring to the owner, that is trying to make shit, decisions and try to destroy, the football and so on. So it is not Liverpool. It's not Trent Alexander-Arnold and the joy of Alexander Lacazette and Saka scoring in the semi-finals. The character, I don't rate Mikel, but the way Mikel has fought to get to the semi-finals, and then you tell him that because your bosses have decided to join another league, all you have worked for is for nothing, for nothing. And me as a fan, look at my reactions. When we beat Slavia Prague 4-0, I almost ran crazy. I streamed for 7 consecutive hours trying to, What do you think? What do you really think?
I remember you on the stream earlier, you gave the example of the wife. I'll give the example of a girlfriend, because you've just said that the UEFA, let's say UEFA is, let's say I have a girlfriend in the house, and she's thinking about moving to Kozi's house in next season. I wouldn't keep her for this season, for the rest of this month. I'd tell her, leave right now. I wouldn't agree for you to still live with me right now. I'd ask you to leave right now. So if I was the owner of UEFA, I'd ask you to go right now. Like, I can't allow you to stay here. I would actually give PSG the title in the UEFA Champions League and have a final between Villarreal and Roma. Why would I give you until the end of the season and I know you're going to leave anyway? There's no benefits to us at all. Literally, you're just here to make more money for us, to pay you off more money again for the winning the titles, and then you leave to collect more money. I would not allow you at all to stay even for a couple of more weeks. You leave immediately. That's what I'd personally do.
Yeah, exactly, because it doesn't make sense why you stay here, and that's what I told my friend here, that it doesn't make sense, because he told me, if you've decided to play for another league, you've got to leave. You've got to pack up your bags and go. And I absolutely agree. But being kicked out of the Europa League, where does this leave the fans, Glenn? Where does that leave you? Because for me, if just at the thought of that of the that I'm not going to be playing in the Europa League this season anymore when we had a chance to win it makes me sick. I just feel, why did we even why did we spend our time? Why, I just feel disheartened as a fan, because this is my season saver. This is my season saver. I know if I beat Villarreal and Unai Emery and go into the final and beat whoever I find there, that is my season saver. That is it. It's my season. That is all I have for the season as an Arsenal fan. How would you feel if it's confirmed that no, Arsenal is out of the Europa League?
It's gutting because in our whole lifetime, I'm probably sure most of the people in the chat have never seen Arsenal lifting a European trophy. We came close in 2006, so I would want Arsenal to win a European trophy. Came close against I think 2000 Galatasaray, 2006 against Barcelona, and 2019 against Chelsea. We never did. Right now we're in the semi-final, another chance to get to the final, another chance to win the trophy, and they're trying to take that away because they want to join a league with another 11 teams to make more money. That would be gutting, because in that competition anyway, we'd never win it anyway, even if we were playing against the likes of Fulham in that competition. Though that is very gut-wrenching. It's very, very terrible. Most of the fans want to see their teams playing in this big competition, Champions League, winning these competitions. I don't care. What football is made of. I remember, I think it was the 2017 season. We played against Bayern Munich, lost 5-1, but then went back to the FA Cup playing against Sutton and Lincoln, and then you play in the league against Wigan away, and then you play back in the Champions League against Barcelona away. It's about mixing up the stuff. I don't want to play Barcelona every single week. Keeping aside or forgetting about the fact that you're going to lose every single week, it would be boring to play Barcelona every single week. Play Real Madrid next week and then play Barcelona again, and then go back to Spain, play Atletico again. That would be very boring. Playing the same teams every single season, no relegation. Yeah, probably I assume they said 5 teams are going to be coming up every single season. That won't matter. There's still another 15 teams that are going to be permanent. All that just doesn't make sense to me. It becomes boring. It becomes like the NBA and the NFL. Boring. Same teams, same leagues. Everyone getting the same money, everyone benefiting from all this non-relegation and stuff. It would be so boring.
Yeah, and what is funny is now you have the criteria is funny, because they are trying to make 15 clubs, 15 founding clubs that will not be relegated. Schalke offer is also part of it, and I'm like, what the hell? Are we going to see Schalke, given money to sign in big players and become great again plastically? I don't know. There's somebody says, Glenn, the game was Americanized when the World Cup went to USA, to the USA. FIFA and UEFA done this to establish the game in America. Now the results of that judgment are now apparent. FIFA.
But that was a long time ago. That was 1994. That was 2014. That was like almost 27 years ago. Like, that's a long time ago. So through what was happening through all those 27 years, because these KROENKEs and all these people bought the clubs like in the like mid 2000s, the Glazers and stuff. So taking the World Cup, I think taking the World Cup in certain countries like South Africa, or the way it went to Japan, South Korea, it's just like boosting the game in those countries. Like if it's taken to America and Canada in 2026, I think it's going to build the game there, build the women's game, build a bigger fan base in different countries, let's say New Zealand, Canada, all these places, Argentina, build the fan base even more. I don't think this should be affecting the league and stuff, the World Cup. This is even FIFA and this is FA. Like, it shouldn't even be connected at all. These are just new owners who've taken over the teams, and they're bringing all this nonsense and rules into the club, trying to make it like the NBA. So I don't think that should have affected it at all.
No, exactly. Glenn, do you think if this persists and Arsenal and United and whoever is involved get away with it, and then we have the league start in August, which I still have a lot of hope that it might not start. If it starts, and of course that means we're getting the money, do you think Arsenal will go for probably a big summer, so probably fitting players, try to sign in players probably?
From which money? From the Super League money?
Exactly. Where are we gonna get?
I don't want to buy players if the Super League money. I'd rather not have those players. That really feels. That feels like Is it manufactured? It's like, it just feels like something was just brought up in the factory and we've just manufactured everything. I want it to be real. I want you guys to fight. I want you guys to earn the money, qualify, get the money, and buy players, not just getting paid 350 million because of putting a signature and then you go and buy players. That feels so manufactured. I don't want football to be like that. That is too manufactured. So if we end up doing that and we buy players, obviously we'll enjoy watching these players at Arsenal. Obviously, no one said we wouldn't, but it really feels manufactured and it wouldn't feel entertaining. Again, playing the same teams every single day. I want to see Mbappe playing for Arsenal against Hull City. I don't want to see him playing against Barcelona this week 3 times in a month. I don't want to see that.
Exactly. I should do a video about how Arsenal will line up with players both with ESL money. That should come up.
Yeah.
That should really come up, on the channel. But it's very bad news, by the way. Very, very bad news for football, because the grassroots, it's money from the Premier League that has been, going down to the grassroots and trying to, for the reason as well, why you can see players like Ivan Toney, players like those Emi Benya. It's the money that supports the championship is coming from all these kinds of deals and the attractiveness and everything. But now it looks like it's going to be taken away. But Glenn, let's in the last 9 minutes before we leave, let's talk about UEFA and FIFA as we live, because they cannot be. So many people have just been hitting on it. I think it's only Lawrence McKenna that has come out and spoken, and that video is a bit old, spoken about the Premier League and the Champions League and how poor FIFA have been at managing this game, and they're leading us into this havoc. Do you think there's a lot more money involved in the game than UEFA and FIFA are telling us and giving to these clubs, and that's why the clubs feel they're getting less money and UEFA is getting more money and FIFA, so probably they've decided to reap the dividends themselves? Could that be one of the problems for you? You think?
I definitely do agree with that. I don't think UEFA are saints. I don't think FIFA are saints. I actually think they're very corrupt. They eat a lot of money, from the Sepp Blatter days to the Platini days. They eat a lot of money. UEFA and FIFA definitely no one to trust at all. So
Yeah.
I do understand why they would do that. If UEFA eating their money, they would want to be on the side where no one is eating their money and stuff. I would understand that. I imagine they've done that, but the way they've done it is not right. They would have involved probably every single team and told them, you know what, we feel like UEFA and FIFA are eating our money and FA is doing this. How about we go on the side and form our own league with everyone involved, not just the big teams? That would have made sense. Yes, UEFA are not saints, FIFA are not saints, but I mean, the competitions like the FIFA World Cup was run since the 1930s. So even if the corruption has been going on, the competition always happens. It always takes place from group stage to the final. People are always rewarded with medals, with money, with trophies. So there's always an end product from that. So this new competition, how trustworthy is it? Can we really trust them to provide every single thing that they do? I don't think so. So even though they've been corrupt over the years, it's still some leagues that we trust. We've trusted it. That's all I've known my whole life: the Premier League, the FIFA World Cup, the UEFA Champions League. So creating something new without an organization, because they just announced it like this, like we had not been told anything about the plans. If they involve the fans and ask the fans to vote, for example, ask the Arsenal fans, what do you think of this, and then 60% says yes, then we would try and look at it and see like, okay, these are the advantages, these are the benefits, and these are the disadvantages. You can work on it. But the way they've done it, not good. And the UEFA and FIFA, I don't trust them as well. But I feel like the way they've been organizing the tournaments and the way they've been running, you might as well give them a 9 out of 10 over the years.
Exactly. I mean, let's take an example at the FFP, because that is one of the issues that have been raised, and I still look at it as a very important issue. FFP came in to regulate how clubs spend, trying to protect these small clubs against all this domination of and thing. And they're like, okay, that's a brilliant idea. But City last year, clubs like PSG, clubs like these clubs have been spending money and lots of money, and whenever UEFA has had investigations, when they found them, when they found them guilty, it was swept under the carpet. When they found them, at times investigations were not taken, and then you're like, why is even UEFA fighting so much, crying so much over what is happening? Yet, it's the same UEFA that has failed to handle European football very well. And I think they've got to blame themselves. If anything happens to them, they've got to blame themselves as FIFA and UEFA. Racism as well. They've failed to kick out racism. They've failed to give reasonable, punishments to racism. If you want to ban racism and someone is a racist, ban them. Ban them. I've seen, and for respect, I won't say the names, but I've seen people kicked out of shows because they're apparently racist. And this is the way to go. But FIFA and UEFA now are crying. They want to ban clubs because they have gone to another league. Yet they didn't ban clubs that because they're racist, because they broke the rules of FFP, and so on. And for me, it's just so ridiculous. So I pray this stops, and I pray that UEFA and FIFA get back, draw back, and then they can think about it. I've been I listened to the UEFA president, and he said he has never had a man who lies so persistently many times, like Agnelli, the chairman of Juventus. He said, "I've never seen a man who lies persistently and consistently like this man." Until the last hour, he was telling him, "You know what? This is a lie. There is not going to be a league. This is a lie." And then it was uncovered that Juventus is part of this. And actually, it was one of the reasons I laughed today. And I was like, really,
Yeah.
But anyway, let me
It's
ask
about
you.
sorry, it's about what you said earlier about the racism and all. It's the motives. If the motives are correct, we would support it. Let's say if Arsenal, Chelsea, United, Liverpool was saying, you know what, we are not happy by the way UEFA are tackling racism. We are not happy they give the Slavia Prague just 10 players. They should be getting more for things like that. We don't allow discrimination. Let's open a new league where there's no discrimination, there's no racism, there's no this, anything like this will be punished. Then it'd be like, okay, we understand it, but how is it going to move forward? But the thing that it's just money, it's not the right way. So UEFA and FIFA are in the wrong, but so is this league, yeah.
Exactly, because it's the motive is money. And what is funny is they have not tried to in any way put some butter. They have not. They have shown you that this is to help the financial models of your clubs. There is nothing. There is no footballing, butter. If they had smeared some butter around it, probably I don't know how how they would have done it. I'm not so good at PR, although I sit in a PR class sometimes. But they should have put some butter, maybe just to distract some fans. But they plainly put it out. Get through, 3.5 billion. Join the league. You're not relegated. That's all. You're gonna make the money. And for me, that is utterly ridiculous. Fans are saying we should unite. I've seen Turkish talk about it. Fans should unite. I've seen a Chelsea fan saying that. As a Chelsea fan, I say now, guys, we are brothers and mostly football fans. Stop this disgrace. Let's unite as one. How can we reduce some of as fans? How do we take back some of the power from these conglomerates, from these companies, because they become companies? They're no longer football clubs. If you want them back as football clubs, you've got to make them clubs. So how do we take back some of the some of the power?
As I said earlier, we need to find a way for these owners not to be owning 100% of the clubs. We need to make it the most, maybe give them 30%, and the rest of the 60-70% you divide it amongst fans and amongst maybe one owner from that country and maybe two more owners, like we had Asmanov, KROENKE, and all those. Like you have it between three owners, and then maybe the fans, because this owners owning 100% of the clubs, they can do anything they want with the club. They can change the names, as I said. Cardiff, let me give the examples again. Cardiff, a couple of years ago, they changed their color from blue to red. Newcastle changed their stadium name from St. James's Park to Sports Direct. That's because the owners own the club and they can do anything they want with it. So if fans are part of it as well, and there are a couple of owners as well who understand the football, Now these fans who are coming from USA and they're trying to make it like basketball league or something, then we need to give the fans a part of give the fans a say, give a couple of owners the say, because I don't really like the way it's going. In the next few years, again, Everton will be joining, West Ham will be joining after they're signed by American owners and bought by American owners. I do not like that. I do not like that. We will not enjoy football, man. I would know even if we draw with Fulham or lose to Burnley, it doesn't matter. We won't get relegated. We'll be fine next season. We'll get another 400 million and buy a couple of more players. That sounds very boring to me.
Great stream, Kosi and Glenn. Thank you so much, Arake. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really means a lot. Thank you so much. It would have been a very sweet super chat if it was Arsenal signing someone probably under normal conditions. But now we are really looking at things that actually don't even make sense. I'm just disgusted. But thank you so much, Arake, sweetie. Thank you so much. It really means a lot. But Glenn, I know you have to go to watch the Liverpool game because you are a man of football and your channel is everything football. So let's just in 1 minute, let's talk about it. Where do you see football if this is confirmed and it's not going back? Where do you see football? Where do you see Arsenal?
Well, it will be a manufactured sport. It will be a boring sport. It will resemble the American football back in USA. It won't be football anymore. They probably will change the name as well. Now we always complain about football being called soccer. It will now be called soccer for real. Now it will be soccer. Now we will all be calling it soccer. It won't be football. It will be manufactured. It will be boring, man. We'll have to start looking for new sports. We'll start supporting teams like Rochdale in League One and League Two, teams like Portsmouth and Plymouth. We need to support such teams. So football won't be the same, and we have to take football back. That's the short answer I can give. It won't be the same. Definitely won't be the same. I'm used to waking up on a Saturday, watch Arsenal against Fulham, wake up on a Wednesday, back in the day, watch Arsenal against Olympiacos. These days, Thursday, wake up, watch Arsenal against Maribor, Malmo, something. But that is what we enjoy. We enjoy seeing the teams, enjoy seeing the players giving 100% in every single competition. As you said, if it's the Super League, that is what they're going to do. They'll be playing the likes of Nketi in the league and the FA Cup because it's not giving them enough money. I saw the Premier League give them like 100 million, and this Super League is giving them 350 million just by signing. You clearly understand it's just because of money. So it will be a manufactured sport. It will be called soccer 100%. So it won't be awesome. They probably will change the name from Arsenal to something else. They'll change Manchester United to something else. So I'm definitely not a fan.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me, Glenn. Thank you so much. We shall be doing this on a weekly basis, guys. Glenn will be on Kosi's Arsenal podcast every Monday as a must at 7 p.m. and I'll be there on Glenn Kitely, everything Arsenal, every Wednesday. So make sure you follow him. It's YouTube, it's Twitter, Glenn Kitely, everything Arsenal. Make sure you follow him. Thank you so much, Glenn. It's been a wonderful show. 48 people watching. Hit the like button. Thank you so much, RK, for the super chat. And probably if I get anything around Arsenal before I sleep, I'll be able to communicate. But for now, I don't have a lot of energy to do videos. It's very, very disgusting. It's a disgrace. Let us fight this disgrace in football. KROENKE, I don't know. Whenever you hear the name KROENKE, it's havoc. It's problems. KROENKE. I don't know. Glenn, just a second. What's wrong with this man? He's never done anything right with Arsenal. Nothing right.
Nothing. I would really like to meet him. Like you need to plan this. Causes Arsenal podcast is a big channel. You need to get him on this stream. You need to get KROENKE on one of these streams. I promise you, all of us will be watching. I would want to ask him what I would want to ask him. Can you name 10 Arsenal players? What do you make of Arsenal? Can you name 3 years where Arsenal won the FA Cup? Like, I just want to hear how much knowledge he has on Arsenal, where he taking his club.
The hardest question would be, what do you make of Arsenal? That would be the hardest question ever. What do you make of Arsenal? He would cry. He would cry.
He probably thinks our biggest rival is Aston Villa because they also start with an A. So for me, I don't like him at all. So the less said about him, the better.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for coming on, Glenn. I'll be there on Wednesday. And don't forget, I'll be waiting for that link.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Exactly. Thanks everybody for watching. It's been a great stream. I know many people are just disgusted, you're just disappointed. But we have to talk about these things. It always happens, and that's the beauty with football is, you know, you've got to have these channels and talk about it. They're still talking about the ESL. Is it going to be scrapped? Is it going to stay around? What are your thoughts? I need those in the comment box. What are your thoughts on the ESL, okay, guys? It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous that we are seeing football dying, and you guys are quiet. 44 people watching. I've looked at your comments and I'm like, okay, around 2, 3, 4, 5 people commenting. You guys need to have a say. If you're going to pull up, bring back football, you guys have to need to have a say. Go on Twitter, follow those accounts. Actually, the hashtags are there. Retweet. The message is cancel the European Super League. I'll see you in a minute, but for now, I sign out. My name is Kosi. Love you so much. It's Kosi's Arsenal podcast, where we talk everything Arsenal. Till next time, bye-bye.